Hello, everybody! It's your wonderful pal, Lord Magicus. We're here to play more Merfolk in Modern. So, here we go. We're playing more Simic fishes. I really like this deck list. We played something very, very similar to this last time. I'm not going to make a whole lot of changes to it. But, yeah, let me just pop in here for a second, say hello to everybody. If you're watching my replay on YouTube, which you absolutely should be, you should go and give it a thumbs up. The clicking the like button actually matters a lot to me, and if you want to go and find where all the places I'm at are, let me put that link here. You can find them all in this link tree that I am about to put into the chat here. There you go. So my link tree, when you can find my YouTube channel, my Twitter and Facebook pages and all that nonsense. It's all there. Merfolk Discord, everything. So yeah, definitely should come hang out with me in Discord and like I said, watch the replays and click the thumbs up. I don't ask for a lot, but that is the one thing I will ask you. Click the thumbs up on the replay. The thumbs up on the replay. Yeah, there we go. All right. I know you. I know you guys will do it. I love you and you love me, right? That's how this works. So, all right, there we go. I'm done with promo stuff right now. Here. Yeah, Merfolk. Let's look at our list here. It's the basically the same as what we did last time. We are running with instead of Spell Pierce now. There's more creature decks, I think. So Stern Scolding is a little bit better. We expect to see stuff like Yawgmoth or Hardened Scales. Like Scolding will be very good. It's also quite fine against even like the Murktide deck or the just got, or was it the blue red Breach deck? Countering stuff like Dragon's Rage Channeler is very helpful. So, what was the other one? There's another creature that they play now. I don't know if it actually counters the other one. Yeah, it does. Okay, so the other one they have is Thoughtbound Phantasm, and it is a 2/2 with Defender for 1 blue, and whenever they surveil, they get to put a counter on it, and if it gets 3 or more counters, then it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. So it gets really big, especially with a Channeler in play, so you can counter it with the Scolding if you are worried about them having a threat. It keeps the board clear. Yeah, it's just very good all around. You also counter stuff like Emery, which can be really big, so yeah, it does a lot of work against that. I mean, yeah, and we are backing it up with 2 Dismembers in the main deck. I feel like, especially if the Zoo deck is going to be more popular now, Dismember is going to matter a little bit more because we're going to want to kill stuff like Scions or Kavus, and yeah, they can get big, so we need to be able to kill them. If they have Leyline plus Scion, well, then our plan is just to race it in game 1 and then hope that we can get through it in game 2 with Pick Your Poison, or just racing it with Island Walk, so. And then what was I going to say? Yeah, Scolding always counters stuff like Ragavan, which is always all over the place, so there is that. And the Elementals, too. Remember, Scolding can counter a Grief, and the Esper Goros deck is definitely playing Griefs and Solitude, so it's nice to have an answer to that half of the deck. Um, we can bring in Counter Magic for the other half, but we do have Hexcatcher that like buys us some time versus that, so it's good to know. And Tidebinder can also counter the trigger and Atraxa, which doesn't give them anything really. Like, so yeah, that's the important thing. You just keep them from drawing a bajillion cards with it. That yeah, you can still beat them. But Tidebinder and Hexcatcher can help against all the other stuff like Tron and like Vengeance and even the mono Black Coffers deck. So and Svyelun will be also really nice here. And speaking of the Coffers deck, like, Dismember is going to be a little bit more important because they do have stuff like Shieldred and Bowmasters, which we need to get rid of. Scolding can always be used on a Bowmasters, but probably bring in the other Dismember for it. And just rely on Counterspell and Forces there. But still, it's like, there's a lot of creatures that I think we want to be able to deal with in Game 1, and Scolding, I think, will help us punch through it. Especially like if Solitude is going to be a thing, like you, or if Grief is a thing, then Scolding becomes even better because now it's like one of the only cards that we have that can actually deal with it profitably. So counter the creatures when they're on the stack. We don't play a lot of spells that we don't play like Essence Scatter or anything, but having it's like this is the Spell Pierce for creatures, so that's the important thing. So yeah, I think with Cascade not being the top of the meta anymore, we want to have more stuff like Dismember and Scolding in the main deck. And like I said, Hexcatcher and Tidebinder can kind of round us out a little bit and protect us against the other stuff in game one. And then we have, generic Counterspell to bring in, but also like Force and Subtlety, depending upon what other deck. Like, the Scolding's not even useless against like Titan because we can still hit the Dryad with it, right? Because it's a 2/4. So, right, I am reasonably sure about that. I'm going to fact check myself on that right now, but I am pretty sure that that is true. Yeah, it is a 2/4. So we can counter the Dryad even like it's not useless against most decks. Like it does something. So, or like Azusa, like it's useful against that too. So very rarely I think will we come across a deck where Scolding is just like straight dead. And if it is, honestly, we're probably going to be favored against it anyway because our sideboard is easy to replace that when it's bad. So I think we'll do fine with this list. I feel pretty good about it. So the important thing is Cenote Scout is like our best one drop, and I want to maximize the turns, especially if we have to race like Leyline plus Scion. Being able to go and attack for 3, then attack for 7, and then attack for 10 by playing Island like Cenote Scout, Island Walk Lord, Island Walk Lord. Very, very important. Like you can race them like that, so it matters a lot. Having the 2-power creature in turn 1 is very, very helpful. Tide Shaper is normally going to be a 2/2 in turn 1 if you play it against the decks that you really need that for. Yeah, especially against Leyline because they are going to, give us free Island Walk. But yeah, Kumena Speaker can usually perform that role for us, and then Cenote Scout usually performs this role, and even when it doesn't, it's like getting lands off the top of our deck, which means it's improving the quality of our draw. So it gets rid of all the things that we don't want to draw, like for the next turn. Like we get to, surveil away stuff like Aether Vial or like Stern Scolding when we're trying to find a Lord, or it digs us towards stuff like Dismember when we need to clear the board, or like I said, it draws us the land so we can draw a different card next turn. So Scout is just very, very good, and I'm very happy to be playing it. So let's take this list out and give it a shot. Yeah. Might help if I click the actual button. Just a little, just a little bit, right? Yeah. So, and as always, oh yeah, let me fix it. So I'm always paying attention to the chat here, so feel free to heckle me as much as you want. No, that's fine. Chat, I love chat. Chat is the best. I always try to read your comments. They mean a lot to me when you interact. I do this for you guys, the people watching, because this is way, way more fun when you get to like do it with people. So, all right, you get to be on the play. Okay, so here's the thing. We're on the play. We have enough 1-drops. I feel like because we have a Cenote Scout, this is the kind of hand we can afford to keep because we can surveil away. We have like, even if we don't find it next turn, like we still have like reasonably like if a land in the top 3 cards, we're probably okay. So, I feel like this is fine. We just want to draw lands here, and we're going to surveil away anything that's not okay, see, look, this is perfect. Next turn, we can just dump like Speaker plus Tide Shaper, and then maybe Lord of Atlantis will just like win the game. Or potentially Vodalian Hexcatcher, depending on what deck we're up against. Like, that might be very important. Yeah, like, this is a deck where Hexcatcher is going to matter a lot, so we're probably going to play 2 1-drop. We could also Tide Shaper them. Get, like, I don't know if yeah, like, do we do it this turn? Oh, that's really good. I feel like I'm actually going to Tide Shaper this because then I can follow it up with like Speaker plus Lord and then afterwards with Hexcatcher, and I mean that should do it. Actually, I'll probably play the Hexcatcher first just in case they play Oblivion Stone, right? So let me attack them first. Because, like, yeah, we can sequence this, so we can go, like, Tide Shape this, so they're off of Tron for at least a full turn. And then, yeah, we follow it up with, like, Hexcatcher in this, so then we get in a better attack. Yeah, like, O-Stone is going to be a little bit later, but I think that we can do it like this. Because the thing is, if I play both Speaker and, yeah, I don't want to play Tide Shaper as a 1-drop here. So, like, it's either I play a Lord now, or I play this here, and, like, you know, I could play Lord and then, like, Speaker, but I really want the Hexcatcher in play, like, before they get the Tron mana, so. Like, this seemed like the best time to do this. Oh my god, that's fucking over, right? There's no way. Alright, so first things, let's play this. Just in case they have something like Warping Whale, I want to make sure that I can... The Speaker has to come out first to protect it. Yeah, like, there's no fucking way. They cannot come back from this. They're dead. Alright, we have, like, way too much power. Like, we have 9 on board right now. Sure, that doesn't do anything. Like, I could just play a Tidebinder and then, you know, like, anything that they're going to do, Tidebinder will just defeat, so I can... Otherwise, I'm only attacking them for, I think, 11, right? So it wouldn't be enough. But, yeah, let me just check. So it would be 4, 4, so that would be 8. 8 plus 3, 11, yeah, only 13. So, yeah, the playing the Lord here doesn't do anything, so we may as well hold up Tidebinder. Like, they'll just die next turn. Yeah. Like, if they play, like, Tronland and then Ugin, then, you know, Tidebinder just defeats that anyway, so. Sure. There's not a whole lot, like, or if they play Karn here and try to get Bridge, like, we can just play Tidebinder and counter it. If they play Wormcoil Engine is not going to do it, my guy, because I have Merfolk Trickster and also Island Walk off the Lord here. There's, like, nothing they can do to, like, actually come back, so, yeah, it's over. Yeah, we win. Alright, excellent. We just fucking dumpster Tron. That's excellent. And we have so many good cards to bring in here. Oh my god. Like, everything is good. Alright, so Dismember comes out. Stern Scolding comes out. And I'm not actually a huge fan of Svyelun in this matchup. And then the other thing we have to look at is probably Merfolk Trickster can come out too. So it's only really good against Wormcoil Engine, which they do have Wormcoils, but I feel like we just want to be as aggressive as possible. The Tidebinder does, like, counter their Planeswalkers and stuff better, so yeah, let's just do it like this. Yeah, plus Pilgrimage is fine. Yeah, we're definitely keeping this. Like, we can play Vial. We have the Force. Like, I think we have everything we need here. This Tide Shaper easily gets pitched here. Like, we're ready to fight. Poison is relevant, but we have, like, so many cards here that are already relevant. Like, it doesn't matter. If they played a map here, I would be inclined to counter it, because they did mulligan to 5, so... But if they play, like, any spell here, yeah, I'll probably force anything that's, like, looking for a Tron land this turn. They could just have natural Tron, so, like, next turn we're almost certainly just going to play Tide Shaper, so... Ancient Stirrings, it is actually really tempting to counter this. And I feel like I want to press my luck here, because, again, they're on a mulligan, so I don't want to let them, like, dig for what they need. They don't have another land. They lose. Yeah, right? We win. That was the game-winning play here. Alright, Breeding Pool, I will pay the 2. Alright. And, like, if we untap here, then the counterspell just, like, you know, wins the game forever, so... Alright, we win the match. Excellent. Absolutely just dumpster Tron. Like, they didn't even have a chance. So... That's how we do it, boys. Alright. Nathan of the Gilt Leaf. Okay, well, I would love to be able to play. Unfortunately, not with no lands. Fuck me. All right, well, we're going to 5. We're playing 20 lands this time. This is not like us cheating on mana. This is just how the shuffler is today, so. Like, it's probably a good sign that they didn't snap keep their hand, but they've mulliganed to 6. We also have to mulligan, so. Are you fucking kidding me? Holy shit! All right, we're keeping this hand, I guess. All right. I guess we're not using Tidebinder anytime soon. We just need to keep this. Fuck me. All right. We had to mull to 4 to find a single land? What the fuck is this? This is revenge for last game. Alright, well. Try, I guess. Do what we can. What's up, Valeroth? Alright. Well, they gave us an island at least, so maybe this is like mill? Okay, I do actually feel like I should probably like vial in the Cenote Scout. Because I want to find another land if possible. Stern Scolding can go in the graveyard. I'm going to cast this. The only hope I possibly have right now is just trying to kill them before they get something going. Like, if this is mill, then it's possible. Like, we could theoretically do this, but we have to, like, top deck a Lord here. So far, so... Oh, God, it might be Merfolk, actually. We could be in the mirror here. Otawara. Like, this feels like either mill or the mirror. I guess it could be a Cascade deck. Oh, God, it's a fucking mirror match. All right. It's been so long! Oh, no! Alright, well, the good news is that we still have the Aether Vial. Alright, we have to tick this thing up. If we don't, we have no chance, so. Alright, Svyelun definitely gives us hope. Alright, we're taking the Vial up to 3. The thing is, I can't have him, like, having Island Walk again, like, or... I can't have him playing a Lord and then just hitting me with this thing repeatedly. Oh, God. Alright, there's Svyelun. Alright, so I guess we definitely have to tick this up, so. Alright, pass, I guess. We're going to use Svyelun to block Svyelun. Actually, I could Tidebinder this. That works, because, like... I don't want them to draw any more cards. Oh, they have their own Tidebinder? No! Fuck, alright. We don't have Dismember for this, so... Alright, we're sunk. There's nothing I can do about this. I just have to take damage here. Fish on fish violence, how could you? Alright. So I guess we need another land, right? Or Dismember. That actually will do it, right? So it's probably for the best that I do this before they untap and play another one of these. Mm-hmm. It's close. We get our Vial back, so let's get Svyelun out. If they don't have a Lord, then there's hope. Because if they just have, like, you know, a bunch of lands or a Vial or some nonsense, or, like, maybe Force of Negation, like, we might be able to do something here. Oh, God, that's super dangerous for them. Alright. No, well, it's also super dangerous for us too. So we're taking 7 here. So I guess we need like Merfolk Trickster. That's realistically the only way this works now. We're at 3, so we Trickster this thing, and then we can like block with Tidebinder and Trickster. There's no way I can kill them, right? Like, even if I played Lord here, it wouldn't give me enough. That would only be 5 and 4, so 9. I have to attack with Svyelun and draw Trickster, and then that's the only way that I can do anything. But it has Ward 1, so no, but I could still use the Tidebinder to counter the Ward trigger. So yeah, I guess it theoretically could work if I draw the Trickster. All right, now it's like scoop step. All right, we lose. It was theoretically possible. I'm not on a fucking mold 4 though. Like, my god. All right. Stern Scolding actually could be useful here because surprisingly there is a lot of times where you do want to use this card. None of the rest of the cards do very much, so I guess like Hexcatcher is not very good. Like Tidebinder is also okay, but I could cut one Tidebinder maybe. Or yeah, it's like kind of meh. I feel that Dismember's better, but like pick your poison gets rid of like Aether Vial, but that's all it really does. Like I don't want to bring in a card that like it's not going to do anything else. If I was gonna like I don't know, I'd rather have Subtlety maybe, but I guess that's fine. Subtlety can be backbreaking sometimes. Well, I mean, we do kind of want to keep them off Vial, I guess, but it's fuck. This is really dangerous. If they have a force where like there's no way they kept in force though. Like, all right, I'm gonna get super greedy and keep this. Uh, like you're not keeping in Force of Negation against me, right? Yeah. So we're gonna hope that Cenote Scout can find us here. Oh fuck, they are playing Breeding Pool, so it means they probably have Cenote Scouts as well. All right, all right. That's true. I do have yeah. Like if we're keeping Scolding, then it makes a little bit more sense. But the thing is, you're trying to use Vial to cast more than one spell a turn, so the Scolding will still probably do something even if they have Vial a lot of times. Excellent. Okay. I would love to pay the 2 life. Get this Kumena speaker going. And then next turn we get to start attacking them for a lot. Like, I don't know that there's a whole lot they can really do here. I might actually just keep up the Scolding here, because if they're going to play Trickster, yeah, the Scolding will just dunk on them. Like, if their plan is to cast Trickster and then hit Master, like, that's not going to work. That's why we didn't attack with the Mutavault, because I could feel it in my bones that was what was coming. Now we're way too far ahead. We have Vial, we have like tons of pressure on the board. Like there's okay, so they are playing Simic. They're playing our version of this list. All right, so and they're gonna fix our fucking mana with. Come on, do it. No, they just played it for 1. All right, all right, all right. We're good. We're good. This looks to me like they probably have another Trickster, and I'm not gonna fall like I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna walk into this again. So. Merfolk. All right. So I don't think I can actually kill them this turn, right? Let me think about this here. Animate Mutavault attack. So that's 3, 6, 7, 8. If I yeah, I think I can just attack with the Mutavault here, right? I don't want to play the Lord of Atlantis. Yeah. Like again, they're not coming back from this, so it doesn't really matter. Like we're still protected against Trickster, so it's still safe to do this. All right, we win. All right, we are on the draw now, so on the draw, maybe, the pick your poison might be worth a little bit more. Because if they go like turn 1 Vial, us killing the Vial actually might matter. Yeah, all to just go balls deep. Yeah, absolutely. Like that's the one of the advantages of playing Simic is that we get to do that. Fuck. All right. So this is both really good and also really bad. The good news is like we are gonna have tons of pressure here. The bad news is like we can go like Cenote into like two of these here. But the Lord of Atlantis is very, very dangerous. I think we just have to keep it though and pray. We just have to be faster. Dockhand, okay. Alright, that's actually a lot better. Alright, I would love to pay 2 life here. Aether Vial can go into the graveyard. This is not an Aether Vial hand. Yeah, if they Rishadan tap us down, it doesn't actually matter. I could just flash in Hexcatcher in response to that, so... Why are we playing against the Mirror? Well, because apparently the Mirror did really well in round 1. Like, we dumpstered Tron in round 1, so... Yeah, I'm kind of curious why they're playing Dockhand. If they're playing the Sanctums and the Breeding Pools, like, Kumena Speaker is a way better 1-drop than Rishadan Dockhand, for sure. Like, and Cenote Scout is obviously the reason you'd want to play green in the first place, so... But, yeah, Zeagle, I'm not sure what's going on here. Again, what the fuck is with this? Like... I guess they could attack me, but I feel like they're probably going to tap my Breeding Pool. Okay, well, I get to play a Tide Shaper, I guess. That's a thing. So they can do this now, but... Okay, it doesn't really matter. They've played the island for us. Alright, let's attack. Yeah, this is actually fine. We still get to put a 2/2 into play. And then next turn, if they want to try to do it again, then I can just float the mana and play Hexcatcher. And then if I draw a land, I'll just play a 3rd Tide Shaper. Ooh, that's not great. Alright, well, we're still racing here, right? So... ooh, okay. That's very interesting. Dismembering the Master of the Pearl Trident is probably very important, I would say. So we play Tide Shaper, and then we can just dismember it. Because it's going to hurt us a lot more otherwise. I guess what we want to do is attack first and see what they do. If they block, then like flashing in Hexcatcher is really good. Yeah, I think we do have to do this right now, actually. You're correct. Hexcatcher is a concern, so let's do it before things go badly. Like, again, they're not keeping in Spell Pierce or any of that nonsense against us. Oh, they don't have another Lord! Ah! Yes! So good! Excellent. Fan-fucking-tastic. They've got nothing, right? Like, this looks like maybe Tricksters. I guess Hexcatcher's also possible, but, They didn't use the abilities here, so I'm assuming this means that we have like Trickster coming. So I guess we're just attacking, right? Uh, we'll play. Yeah, we played Tideshaper plus Hexcatcher, I think. Sure. Okay. Oh, we got Subtlety. All right. I can't do anything about the Subtlety, I guess. So let me think about this. So they're gonna take 4 here, so they're gonna be at 9. I guess it doesn't actually matter. I can just pick your poison and make them sacrifice the Subtlety. Uh, I lose a Tideshaper, but I'm just gonna win with Island Walk next turn anyway. That's the plan, right? So, is there any card I would rather draw? Like, I don't think the Hexcatcher actually matters. Yeah, I guess putting this on the bottom is fine because they go to 9. We play Tideshaper, and the next turn we just kill them with Lord of Atlantis. Sure, I guess we'll put it on top. We'll make them think that that's going to be what our plan is, even though it's not, so. Alright. So yeah, pick your poison ends up being surprisingly good here. So like basically they're lost, right? Well, I guess we can't kill them this turn, but there's like no fucking way they can kill us, right? So we're in really good shape. Yeah, because if we, the alternative, we could have played Tideshaper and like kind of just hope that we could just race Subtlety, but it looks like they have nothing here, so. Let's see if they're gonna do anything about this. Yeah, well, they obviously don't have another Subtlety because they just cast the Dockhand, so. Sure, we can just play it now, I guess. Oh, they have Stern Scolding. Okay, sure. All right. We're still winning this exchange, right? So, all right. Well, there's Mutavault. That could be a little bit dangerous. All right. We actually do have to be careful. We could die theoretically. So, all right. That's very helpful. So let's see. They have one card in hand, and it's obviously not a Lord because if it was, they would have attacked us already. So, means their last card is it could be like another Stern Scolding. It could be a land because I think they've played land every turn. So if we play Lord of Atlantis, we attack them for 6. They go to 1. Then we're taking 2, 4, 6. We take 7 damage at most theoretically, and then we're still fine against something like Trickster off the top. If they play a Lord, we also have Stern Scolding for that. So like we're protected against Lord. So I feel like it's safe for us to do this. This threatens to kill them. Okay. All right, what's your last card? Is it crap? It's Tidebinder. So they have no cards left, right? I think I do have to counter this because otherwise I will die. So let's just hope they don't draw a Lord off the top. All right, opponent. What's your master plan? Yeah. Did you get it? They did not find it. We win. All right. Despite our mold of 4, we got there. Good games, opponent. That's close. Yeah. So Scolding actually seemed like it was fine. Pick Your Poison also seemed like it had a little bit more value than we initially thought because of the Subtlety. So that was good. Yeah, I think definitely I think on the draw, I think it matters a lot more because The match does come down to a lot of times, like, does somebody start with Vial versus someone not starting with Vial? And if you can even the odds, like if they take their turn one playing Vial and you can remove it, well, they have not contributed anything, and like you're a little bit more caught up to them. So, especially since then we have more one drops presumably because we're playing Speaker. If their turn two is just like okay, play like a Trickster or something, we can deploy two creatures and actually get ahead on the draw that way. So. Vial definitely is really big, but then obviously like them losing a 3/3 flyer to 1 mana is actually just absurd. So very very powerful. There wasn't a sure thing though. They had a lot of draws that could like win out there, but we did our best. So it did turn out playing a Hexcatcher on the top was the way to go. I mean, the other alternative would have been instead of countering Subtlety, we could have just tried playing Tideshaper and going in that direction and just hoping that we could play the Lord with Island Walk to win. So there's some merit to like not playing Pick Your Poison in that turn, but it ended up okay. We are on the draw here, and this hand is ass. Yeah, mulligan this hand. Yeah, we do keep this. And we put Flooded Strand away. Yeah, the mirror is very tricky. Oh, fuck me. We're up against Scam, aren't we? This is definitely like the Vengeance deck, so this is going to be terrible. I do not run any Hedge Maze, no. My utility lands are 2 Mutavaults, 1 Otawara, and 1 Waterlogged Grove. So the fetch lands do nothing for us in terms of throwing away cards. Yeah, their inferior 1-drops were not enough to outpower our 2-drops here. Like, no, Cenote Scout is definitely the reason you want to play green for sure. The only good news is that no matter what the opponent takes here, at least we get to put some creatures in play. Like, you know, they could take like Master of the Pearl Trident, or yeah, that's fun. But like, we still get to try to curve out, and Cenote Scout should theoretically help us. The only thing that sucks is if they like turn 2 grief scam us, then we're dead basically. So, or here's the thing. All right, if I don't play this right now, fuck. They don't know that we have this. But if they're gonna go like turn 2 grief, then this would. I feel like if they had grief, they would have done it in turn 1. Yeah, if I feel if they had it, they would have done it before the Thoughtseize probably. So, Svyelun can. I think Svyelun is fine there. Yeah, next turn I can play Speaker and then the Misty and have Scolding up. So we'll draw the Svyelun and hopefully we can find the 3rd land in time. Interesting. Alright, let's attack. Because, yeah, now if they play, like, Solitude, we have a good answer to that, too. So they're not going to Ephemerate Solitude against us. Which means I'm also going to crack this right now, just because I don't want to get caught with my pants down, like, versus Solitude here, so... I want to have my mana, so I don't have to be afraid to crack my Misty Rainforest. Alright. Let's see, because, yeah, like, again, if they do it right, if they, like, try to ephemerate scam me here with Solitude, like, I'm protected against it. Faithful Mending, there's nothing I can do about that. If they have fucking turn 3 Gorios, so be it. They discarded Atraxa, so that's not a good sign. Yeah. Alright. They just need to not have it, right? Because we can't do anything about it right now, so... This is kind of a hard match because, like, our cards are only good against like one half of the deck or the other, but like we don't have a whole lot of crossover between them. So like this is really good against the elementals scamming us, but yeah, it's also like not very good against them just having vengeance. Okay, I feel like if they had vengeance, they would have used it here, right? Yeah, all right. Again, I don't think we can afford to dick around with. They're threatening at any given point to just end the game if they find vengeance, so yeah, we don't really get the choice to play around things. We just have to attack and hope. Hope that their hand is full of like, I don't know, griefs and subtleties or something that they can't actually get real value out of, so they had subtlety, like that might not have been a bad turn to do it, so maybe yeah, I don't know what they could have that would be good for us right now because it doesn't seem like there's a lot. Here, at least, we're threatening to kill them next turn, but again, they have to not find vengeance, so. Like we can still kill them by drawing a lord, I guess. But they still have to not find vengeance and probably not find solitude. All right. I guess if they draw like thought seizes or something at this point, like or like even grief, that would be fine. I don't really care if they do that. Making us discard spells are probably fine for us here. Lands are obviously good if they have that. They discarded a solitude. That can't be good, right? Yeah. Discarded Flooded Strand. Okay, so they 5 cards like that. Yeah, that's doesn't make me feel good if this is going away. Unless they'd have no other white cards to like pitch for it, that's possible. Oh fuck, this looks like vengeance. Oh no, okay. Tainted Indulgence is probably okay. Means they probably don't have it right now, so I'm guessing they just drew another land. They pitched a Traxa to grief me. Sure, all right. So I guess we're hoping that they don't have the vengeance, right? That's pretty much it. Like, take whatever you want from my hand. It doesn't really matter at this point. Sure. Goodbye, Dismember. Sure, Ephemerate, whatever. Take away Svyelun. And if we're lucky, we just top deck a Lord and they die. That's the plan. This is as reasonable a position as we could ever hope to be in. We may as well play the breeding pool. Like, they're going to ephemerate this thing again and take our Scalding, so literally we just F6 here. So they have one more turn to try to find vengeance or they die. That seems fine with me. Like, I think even finding Solitude here is not enough. Alright, vengeance or die. We're kind of lucky they've gone through like 21 cards so far and haven't done it, so. Alright, they get one more chance. Alright, well, we win. Ditching Svyelun would have won the game because we could draw a pool the turn before and could have countered Grief before. Well, we at no point could we cast it, so I mean, I guess we could have theoretically, if they, for whatever reason, took Scolding, we could have cast Svyelun here, but I don't think it would have actually made any difference. Oh, you mean in our opening hand? I guess. I don't know. It's hard. Yeah, when you don't necessarily know what you're up against, it's kind of difficult. All right, I feel like we want counterspells here. Like the subtleties might be fine too. All right. We are on the draw. All right. Tidebinder's probably fine. Svyelun's probably fine. I think Trickster stops Atraxas from hitting us, but I don't know that that does very much. Ugh. What do I take out here? I guess the Speaker's not very good. The Dismember's not very good, I guess. Yes, I mean, I guess we could take out Svyelun. Alright, well, we'd still have to bring in 2 more cards. Like, so we could have Subtlety. We could also just keep the Speakers or keep 2 Dismembers. It is okay. Yeah, like, it's fine. I don't think it's, like, amazing by any means, but it's okay. On the draw, it might matter more, because if they scam us, then we could potentially, like, if they try to do it again, we have Scalding to protect ourselves, so... Yeah, Speaker is definitely a consideration. This is not a very good hand, to be honest. We're on the draw, so if they, like, have grief, then, it's gonna be pretty bad. Kind of feel like this is probably a mulligan. They kept 7 cards. Like, I don't think that we're winning with just 2 1-drops. This is, I think, better, and I think I will get rid of a breeding pool. Or actually, oh, that's hard. It's either a pool or a watery grove. Either way, this hand's still a lot better. I guess I'm getting rid of the grove, I think. So we'll take. Well, we'll have to take at least 2 damage. So yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, in this case, yeah. All right. Well, they did it pitching Goryo's Vengeance, so it means they can't like ephemerate it here. But the thing is, we had only 2 creatures, and I don't think that 2 is enough. Like, we mulligan to 4 creatures, which is a way better mulligan, even with grief. Because now, like, instead of having 1 threat, we still have 3. So it's kind of weird that they grief before playing a land. Like, they could at least threaten to potentially, like, scam it, so that might change my decision whether I was going to subtlety it or not. They got rid of Trickster. That's actually surprising. I didn't expect that. Look, if they were going to scam us, like, our first hand, app 100% would have lost. Like, if they had scammed us, like, this hand still would have had a better chance anyway. This can't be a good sign, though, right? Because this means that they have to, like, have vengeance going on or something. What? Godless? They don't even have Faithless Mending. What the fuck do they have here? I'm going to take the 2 damage. They don't know I have Scalding Tarn in my hand. I'm going to... I think I'm supposed to play the Hexcatcher. Actually, no, I can play the Lord of Atlantis. Because, yeah, I don't think they can scam this turn, so... Alright. Yeah, I don't think they can get the vengeance going on this turn. And in the future, I can threaten the Hexcatcher, but also hold up the Tidebinder. Yeah, I agree. And then if I end up drawing the 4th land, then I can just, like, flash in Tidebinder and have, like, Hexcatcher plus Lord. The Tidebinder protects us a little bit from subtlety, if that's a thing. Alright. They're gonna mill here. So they mill. They didn't get an Atraxa in the yard, so that's good. Teferi is the only reason. Well, the thing is, if they play Teferi, I can always like flash in Hexcatcher anyway, so because they'd have to tap out for it. If they have Subtlety, they have Subtlety. I can't defeat Subtlety. That's actually really good. Okay. I can attack them, and then I guess if they block, then I can flash in Hexcatcher. The only thing I'm concerned about is if they have Subtlety, it's gonna suck. Because they can still like ephemerate scam it. I don't know that I have a good way to push through damage this turn because of it. Or I'm sorry, if they have Solitude. Yeah, if they like ephemerate Solitude, like I'm fucking dead. And like I have Tidebinder, but I'm gonna lose 2 creatures if they do. So, well, I guess that's what we have to do. We have to get at least 1 creature in play this turn, and I think it has to be Hexcatcher. There's also the possibility they just might not block for whatever reason. Okay. All right. Well, they just need to not have it. That's it. If we put the shields down right now, then we can protect our board next turn with the Tidebinder. That's got to be the plan. Okay, well, looks like maybe they don't. That's good. What the fuck hand did they keep where, like, their plan was to just grief me and then do nothing? That can't be right, right? This hand is terrible. They did nothing on turn 2. And then turn 3, they just played a creature that they must have just top decked, because otherwise they would have just played this in turn 2, right? They have to at least try to go for it. Okay, I guess Thoughtseize me. You can take my Tidebinder. That's gonna make that Solitude really, really bad. But what am I gonna do? If you have Solitude, I'm dead no matter what. I can't beat everything. Prismatic Ending. Interesting. What does this mean? I think I'm supposed to just let them do this? I don't think that the Hexcatcher is worth protecting. It can't be. All right, I don't know what else I'm supposed to really do here. I guess we just want to draw like another Lord or something. That's actually pretty good. All right. I guess I'm just attacking with Lord and hoping that they try to play like Grief or something, and then I can just Subtlety it. If not, I'll just flash in Subtlety and hope that that's good. All right. I'm gonna ending this again. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. It's not good. They discarded Atraxa, played Delta. Do they have the Vengeance here? It looks like they have the fucking Vengeance, and I can't do anything about it. This wasn't the right interaction. Feels like their hand was like really clunky, but like I don't know, they've now finally like managed to draw into what they needed here. I think we're just dead, right? Like this is just gonna get them a bajillion cards. All right. I don't actually have all that much, right? I guess, but like I don't know, like we could have protected the Hexcatcher, but it's I don't know that we'd be in a much better position. Like they could have just waited until next turn, and then we wouldn't have been able to do anything anyway. So they only got to keep 3 cards, so it's not actually that bad. I guess we got to put as much pressure out as we can before they actually do find something. So they kept. They kept March, one of these, and what was the other one? Flooded Strand. Okay. And they have 1 card we don't know about. All right. I mean, it's not over yet. I don't know. Cauldron like is an interesting one. I don't know. It's always correct to do the opposition of what your opponent seems to want to do. I guess. But let's see. We're like close to actually winning this game. Surprisingly, somehow. Okay, well they cracked the Flooded Strand, so we have 2 cards we don't know about. March can get rid of one thing, I guess, but like theoretically we're still like at least within 2 turns. I'm probably gonna flash this back, I'm guessing. Looking for another Vengeance. Because they can discard Atraxa and hope to draw Vengeance. They'll have, what, 4 cards here, so it's possible. And they discarded a Grief. Oh, fuck, they found it. Yeah, alright. I needed them not to find it here, but, it's whatever. Yeah, it's still not over yet, but it's close. So I'm at 25. We still have 15 power, but they do have March in their hand still, so. Choose Faithful Mend. Alright, hold on. Flooded Strand, Prismatic Ending. Alright, so they. So what is it? Faithful, Flooded. Architect and ending. All right. I don't think that this... Yeah, I can't really do a whole lot to hurt them here. I guess I just have to put them in a position where if they don't scam me again, they're just going to die. This is the best we can do, so we're hoping. I guess yeah, I don't know. Like, what do they have? They have 8 cards here. We know what 5 of them are. Like, I mean, they could cast 2 removal spells, but if they cast 2 removal spells, they're not getting another Atraxa, right? They didn't take the Gristlebrand, so makes me think maybe there's an Atraxa in their hand already. I'm guessing this is going to get rid of a Lord. So we might need to draw a Lord off the top to really seal it. Yeah, okay. Alright, what are we doing? They can march here. Get rid of this Tide Shaper, I guess. What they can pay 2, right? 2 to get rid of a Lord. That's probably the best use of their mana. So it'll be 2, 3, and then 3. They could theoretically survive that. But, yeah, no, it's going to be close. Let's see. Depends what they want to go for here. They could try to Faithless again and just, if they have like Vengeance. Or Faithful. Yeah. I don't, every time I look at this card, I always just think of it. It's like, this is blue-white Faithless looting. Because that's what they base the card on, so. She looks like they're going that route, so. Puts them up to 12, right? Or no, they're going Archaeologist, okay. I guess this technically lets them see more cards, right? And they did not find a non-creature, non-land card off of it, so whatever they were looking for, they missed. We win. They conceded. Wait, why did you concede? Couldn't you just, like, you still have... I guess what, you can go to 9? Do you not have another Plains in your deck? Go to 9, get, yeah, you can still march this. You can march the Lord. Like, I don't, why, you could have tapped the Godless Shrine to cast this and still had march up from that. That was, like, a complete fucking blunder, right? Because we know that they kept this card, so, like, they easily could have cast it and gotten rid of a Lord and, like, at least block something with this. So I don't know what was going on, but you know what? Fuck it, we'll take it. All right, if they're gonna gift us a win, then we're gonna take the win. We accept it. All right, we're kicking ass and taking names today. 3-0, baby. Where's Contra? Contra, you need to be here for the 5-0, right? How am I supposed to do this without your support? I know that I just randomly started streaming and I didn't, like, tell you ahead of time, but still, you should know. You should know and you should be here. We do our best. Today, our best seems to be good enough. It's a matter of not giving up until we know for a fact that we're dead. So we can still keep playing on as long as our opponent gives us a chance. I don't know, I feel like they made some pretty sketchy decisions in that game, and I have no idea what could have possessed them to keep a hand like that. Like, there are better sevens they could have kept. All right, let's go. We are on the play. I think this hand is okay. Like, it's not the best, but it's also far from the worst either. So they have mulled to 6. All right, if it's Tron, then we're great. So blunders happen. Yeah, I mean, I am human. I've fucked up before, so it's definitely possible. The mull to 5. Only Tron mulls to 5. Everybody knows this. So our hand is looking better and better, right? You know it has to be, right? It's just gotta. You can feel it. And this hand is gonna look great when I just double Tideshaper Tron lands. Tidebinder. We already have one. I think that I would rather draw a Lord or something. I don't need a second Tidebinder right now. No, oh god, is it this Domain Zoo? It could be. Because they also are a deck that likes to mulligan looking for stuff, so. I guess let's attack first. Here's the thing, if it is Domain Zoo, they kind of have to play like the islands, right? I can make it really awkward for them. It actually might be worth just playing 2 Tideshapers, because if I draw the Lord, it makes it very, very good for us, and even if I don't, like, I do have Tidebinder still to, like, if they have Kavu, so. But I can make it so they can't, like, fetch for any of their blues without pumping this up, so. It limits the potential of their domain a little bit. Domain likes to search for, yeah, for other stuff, so. Looks like Lightning Bolt, maybe. Yeah, okay, sure. Alright. Like, if they play Kavu, like, you know, as soon as it attacks, Tidebinder gets to kill. What the fuck? Is this Jund? Like, what? Oh, God. They played Urza Saga here. Okay, so, now all of a sudden, this doesn't look very smart anymore. There's Ragavan. Okay, well, it's not dashing at least, so that's plus. I guess I could let them tick this thing up once. A rare CH2 counter. Yeah, we could just counter chapter 2. I guess I can attack with 1 Tideshaper. That seems fine. Because I don't think, yeah, we don't really have the tools to deal with the construct very well right now, so it's probably for the best to just not let them do it. Does it actually, like, do anything? Doesn't it still have the ability, though, because it's not an artifact? Did we actually achieve anything, Tux? Like, fuck, we might not have done, because I think this is an enchantment. This doesn't actually stop this from having a chapter counter on it, does it? Okay, artifacts. Interesting. It has Death Touch. Well, our draws have not been very kind to us. We have drawn 3 mana sources since then. I think we're losing this game no matter what we do. It seems very hard to believe that we can, like, turn this around. Well, wait, like I didn't expect this was going to be an Urza Saga deck that mulled to 5, so I'm still not exact. Oh, this is a cookbook deck. Okay, I see. All right. This is the red green food deck. All right, yeah, this is not a good matchup for us, not in the slightest. So it's going to be very difficult. This thing could attack. Yeah, no matter what we draw here, it's not going to be good for us. Like there's nothing that pushes through damage here. I mean, another Tide Shaper is not the worst thing. They have Oval Chase too. Like it's actually basically like we just kind of lose right now. Like there's no way we're beating this. Fuck. The Dismember helps a little bit, but not very much. What do I like? I can kill. Like this is just gonna keep gaining them life and getting bigger. I think I need to do this now, but I don't really want to. I can't really attack here. This is gonna get way worse before it gets better. All right. On the plus side, they don't have any more mana to make another construct, so yeah, this thing is also very, very dangerous because they have Oval Chase now. So right, they can just keep like throw. They have like what they can just get rid of like, or they can get like a bajillion cards. I have no actual way of defeating this. I think we need exactly Merfolk Trickster, and that's not even enough. Uh, yeah, no, we're dead. We can't defeat this with the Master. All right. If we knew what it was, probably yeah, but we didn't. So what are you gonna do? All right, Spreading Seas, yes, please. Yeah, well, we didn't know, so all right. I don't think that the Scolding is actually. It's not going to counter Asmo, and I feel like the Dismember probably matters a little more. Pick your poison feels like it should be fine because it can blow up sagas, and they play like. The problem though is like if they have cookbook, as soon as they like play it, they can just start sacrificing food tokens. So I'm not actually sure how good this is. They have like a bajillion artifacts to get rid of, and so like making them sacrifice an artifact doesn't actually seem that great. So maybe Counterspell is a way to go here. Uh, maybe that's possible. All right, we gotta think about what we're gonna do here. I have to take out 3 cards if I want to keep the counter spells here. What suggestions do we have here? Should I keep Counterspell, and if so, what am I getting rid of? I feel like maybe Hexcatcher's not very good. You can do something like this. Alright, I'm inclined to do that. Alright. There's Counterspell and there's Cenote Scout. Well, if we, all right. I feel like I've got to try. Right, we've got a little bit of a game going here. If I can just find the second land, then the counterspell should be really good. Okay. And Cenote should be able to help us do that. There we go. Otawara means we can just play it next turn, so. Botanical's also fine. I don't think I want to waste Tideshaper this turn, so there's not really like my choice is either hold up Counterspell or play this, and I don't think Tideshaping a mountain is where we want to be. So, yeah. Right now we might just be leaning on this, and like maybe they're gonna lightning bolt this thing, but sure. If that's the case, so be it. Oh, they wasted a fucking Galvanic Blast on it. That's good with me. Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Back to the Stone Age with the... Your rain is messing up your tech. Are you outside right now? Alright, well... This was better, I think. Fuck, they have another one! Damn it! Why do they always have two? Can I draw a Spreading Seas? No. Alright. Well, they might not have a third land, so that's possible. I guess we're just trying to use Counterspell here. Hope they have to like actually play a card instead of making a construct. Oh, all right. Well, that's fine. Oh, beautiful. Fucking fantastic. All right. No soup for you, sir. It worked out. They obviously don't have any more 2-drops, or otherwise they would have played it there, so... Yeah, they don't have any more lands and nothing to do with 2 mana. That's good. It means that we are probably safe to play Svyelun no matter what this turn. Oh, fuck this. Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, land would be perfect, but I mean, this is also okay. Actually, you know what? Lord of Atlantis is also fine here. We basically just win here. Like, again, because there's nothing that they can really cast that's going to get them back in here. Okay, well, that doesn't actually do anything because they don't have a third land to make use of it, so... We didn't need to, but, like, we can afford to. Yeah, like, we win. Alright. Fuck me. Okay, that was actually awesome. Alright, so... Alright, what do you suggest? We're on the draw this time, so we might be a little bit more vulnerable to Saga. Should we... Like, pick your poison can blow up Ursa Sagas. It can actually do it like a little bit more efficiently than spreading seas. However, we don't get to draw a card if we do it that way. How it might be worth it though, just because of the mana cost of it. Like we could just take out seas here and just play pick your poisons for that. The cantrip is nice. I don't know what like if how do we want to like work this here? And keep seas. All right. Well, if we want to keep seas, we have to get rid of 3 other things, right? So how are we gonna afford it? I mean, we don't necessarily need all 3 pick your poisons either. Yeah, we could. We do have 2 hex catchers to cut. We have 1 more Kumena speaker, which if we want to cut the other speaker, we could do that, or we could just cut 1 pick your poison. Like this is an option. We can just do it like this. So, yeah, I think that we can do it like that. All right. Yeah, the saga is very dangerous to us, so we do need to have a lot of answers to it. This is not actually all that good of a hand. Ugh. Feel like this is probably a mulligan. If they have mulligan to 6, I feel like it's a little bit more acceptable for us too, because yeah, 4 lands is a little bit too much. Never mind. All right, this is my fucking life now. I get super punished for this. They kept 6. We have to go again. All right. Sure, I guess. Okay. Pick your poison goes away, and Otawara goes away. Doesn't. Hopefully, this 2-for-1 works out for us, and that they're not going to like thought seize us into oblivion. There's a lot of ways this goes bad. Okay, if they do nothing in turn 1, then there's hope. Okay. If they play Urza Saga, we'll be back in this immediately. Saga do nothing would be ideal. Okay, if it's just that guy, I could just dismember him, so that's fine. I think that's what we're doing. I think we have to dismember this guy. We'll wait for them to go to attacks and see what happens. All right. Well, let's see what they got. It's so tempting to go after this Blood Crypt, but I need them to not if they don't play another land. Tarmogoyf, okay. They have not played a 3rd land, so like I really, really want to spreading seize this fucking Blood Crypt right now and keep them off of casting spells. I think I have to based on what my hand looks like right now, because like I need to draw another card, and I need them to stop casting things. If it's just Tarmogoyf versus Lord of Atlantis, we can like theoretically win this. Oh fuck. Well, they have Stomping Ground. They don't have black mana though, so that's a little bit of a plus. It turns off a few cards, I think. All right. Yeah, I get hit with Goyf again. No, that's not good. Bolts are online and Galvanic Blast is online. Here comes Bolt. Yeah. All right. Come on, deck. We need to stop drawing mana sources, please. It's not really gonna do it. It wasn't like that bad, but like it wasn't really good either. I feel like most of our sixes on average are going to be better than that seven was. That said, we're not doing that terribly here because our opponent is like kind of stumbling a little bit, so they're giving us a chance. We're not really getting what we need like Svyelun here, so uh Tide Shaper might slow them down a little bit actually. This is naturally the turn where they're just going to draw like Urza Saga though, isn't it? I'm just trying. Yeah, like they can't cast any more bolts, so like, I don't know, if they don't have another land, like they might not be able to do very much. All right. Well, I mean, Trickster would still be really good against this Goyf, so. All right. I'm just gonna say always no, always no. This doesn't do anything right here. I have to keep the Tide Shaper back to block this thing, so. Fuck, that's bad. That's really bad. They found a land, which means they can actually start casting spells now. I do need stuff. Like, this Pick Your Poison's not really good right here, unfortunately. That is also a very bad card for us, right? Because they can find, like, an Asmo or a Tarmogoyf. Like, there's so many ways this goes wrong for us. There's another Tarmogoyf, and it gets bigger now, so... I like, actually can't defeat Tarmogoyf at this point. It's way too big. There's literally nothing I can do. I'm dead. I mean, yeah, that sucks. Like that was a pretty terrible run of draws for us. That first hand was like, I don't know, if they had like anything other than like this hand that like it probably our first hand I'm not convinced would have necessarily beaten them. Like I feel like it was very medium. Or not even that, like I feel like it was actually kind of a bad seven. Like a good six would have been way better. Even like a medium six, I feel probably would have been better than the seven that we had. There's like four mana sources, and we only had like two creatures. It's like I don't know. It maybe it would have been fine, but we did what we could with the mulligan that we had. Oh well. It's hard because like that deck can have like really good draws where you like basically don't have a chance, and then that time they just like kind of fucked around entirely. We are on the draw here, and I feel like this kind of hand is way too slow in the draw, so I'm gonna mulligan this. All right, well, I can't afford to do it again, so we're just going to have to suck it up. I'm going to get rid of a Hexcatcher because I want to make sure I cast Svyelun. Oh, the good. This is Leyline. Yeah, like, this is exactly the kind of hand where I really need to have a one-drop, or otherwise I'm going to die. There's Ragavan, sure. Dismember? No. Fucking, this is terrible. Like, we're not beating Ragavan with this either. Like, neither of these hands. If we had a one drop, like it could have actually like raced this pretty easily. We can go like one drop into master, like that would have actually been very there it is! Why couldn't we be on why couldn't we have that? Why do we have to draw Svyelun? Fuck. Here comes Scion. Yeah, like they don't even have another land! Like if we drew Dismember, they were just straight up dead. I can't race this. Like they have two creatures that are just going to completely ruin my entire existence. We're dead. Yeah, no, it's they basically just scammed us in turn one. There's nothing we can do about it. So, all right, get rid of the Scolding. I think here we want the Dismember, and that's pretty much it, right? Actually, I think... How do I do this here? Maybe get rid of... The Tidebinder is actually good against the Kavu. I don't know, Svyelun might be... I don't know if, like, Svyelun's better or not. Whatever, I'm doing it like this. Fuck it. Yeah, like, we didn't have the hand that we needed. This is a lot better. We can keep this, for sure. Like, even if they have it, like, this time, it's not going to help them, and, like, I kind of hope they mulligan to it, because then we'll just win. We can go, like, Cenote Scout, and then we do have Pick Your Poison for next turn. We can play, like, Speaker plus that. Well, they don't have it, so that's a good sign. Okay. Well, if they ever find it, it's dead, so... Yeah, all the one drop. Well, we're playing, what is it, 10 one drops, and we just couldn't, like, find any of them, so it's... What are you going to do? Alright, play Botanical, attack with Cenote Scout, and then, See, there's a very strong chance that they might have Kavu here, so I'm going to actually play the Kumena Speaker as to be my blocker, I think. Actually, the other option is I could play the Lord of Atlantis, and then if they have, like... I guess if they have Bolt, then they'll waste... They can use it on here. If they have, like... I don't know, because I want to kind of keep this in case they play Kavu, because it will kill it, and then I can play Trickster plus Speaker next turn. This attack actually might not have been all that good. Whatever, I guess I'm just going to let Ragavan hit me. Yeah, this looks really stupid now that I changed my mind, because I could have at least attacked for an extra 1 point of damage. That was a fuck up. I should have really thought about that more. But yeah, if I was going to play it, I should have, played it but pre-combat no matter what I did if I was attacking, so... Or just not attacked at all. Interesting. So Ragavan is going to attack here. You know what? I'm gonna trade with... I am gonna block this thing. See what they do. I don't want to give them the extra treasure. But I feel like Kavu is going to get played this turn, right? Yeah, it is. See, look, now this is actually fine. Alright, well, I think it kind of worked out, so... We will have to fetch an island to, just in case the creatures die at some point, but... I don't know, like, we're not that bad of shape here. We want them to really play Scion right now, like, that's ideal. They play Scion, yeah, and it looks like maybe that's what's happening. Yeah, okay. Deal. Lord, come on, Lord of Atlantis. Oh my god, we are so fucking good at Magic the Gathering. Yeah, I don't think that there's any possible way that they can, like, put an artifact into play at instant speed, but we're gonna choose Creature with Flying just to be safe. Force of Negation! Oh, fuck, okay. Alright, well... Unfortunately for you, I still have this Lord of Atlantis, and you so conveniently found an island for me, so... What did they pitch? They exiled Expressive Iteration, though. That's not really a card you want to throw away. I don't really need to play the Vial here, so there's no... I'm not going to bother. Alright, what are your last two cards? This could matter be that we missed that 1 point of damage now, though, because they're at the point where, like, killing the Lord and blocking a creature, like, almost makes a difference. Island, okay. Interesting. Scion is not attacking. This looks to me like Lightning Bolt on Lord. Block is probably what's happening, but I don't really have... Okay, so... What happens here? Yeah, alright. See, if they have Lightning Bolt, they're definitely going to use it on the Lord, right? And then block one of the other creatures, so they would like take only 3 points of damage. Still feel like I have to do the damage, though. If they had Leyline, I think they would have played it. I could test the waters and just send in the Cenote Scout and see what happens. It puts them at 3, and then it means either the Trickster or the Speaker actually kills them. Like, okay, there's a Leyline binding. All right. The binding does mean that a top decking another pick your poison actually is lethal, though, so that's good to know. I don't really know that they want to be attacking the even like just on the off chance we could draw like Hexcatcher, so that could be bad for them. This is where the 1 point of damage actually matters because they theoretically could attack. Another Scion, okay. They have one card left, and it's not Leyline Binding, and it's not Lightning Bolt. So Lord or pick your poison wins. Like if we drew Trickster here, we theoretically could have had them dead. I am gonna crack the Tarn. That's actually not bad. I can kill this thing and put them to 1. This means they cannot attack anymore. And their last card is obviously not removal, or they would have used it already, so... Now here's the thing, a lot of times if they don't draw the removal spell right here, then they'll just concede and just, you know... But it's... They shouldn't. Like, you should never just, like, tell your opponent, oh, by the way, I don't have it. Because, like, now I have to play as though they do. This might tell us if they have a lightning bolt. Interesting. If you have a bolt, you have to do it now, right? So the last card in their hand is not Lightning Bolt. If I attack with both of these, they can bolt one and block one, but they still are not able to attack because of the Tide Shaper. Yeah, they may have Leyline Binding, so I think it's safe to just not hit them here. Like, I feel like that's likely. It could also just be a bluff. They could just be, like, fucking with us. But, again, if they don't play a creature, one Leyline Binding is not enough to win, so we can beat one removal spell by waiting a turn. And they would have to draw, like, two removals in a row. And I don't... That's way less likely. I think, yeah, I feel like it's probably safer to just not attack that turn. Because bolts are now offline. Like, Lightning Bolt is not an option here, so they have to Leyline Binding this if they want to use a bolt. And we need to, like, not get rid of that. Alright, so they do have a binding that they're going to use, so... Sure. That's fine. And again, if we draw Pick Your Poison, like, that also just wins the game, so... What the fuck are you doing? Expressive Iteration here. You better have a fucking, like... what is this? You can't use a fetch land, so, like, what is your plan? Nothing. You just die. Okay. Sure, well, we'll take it. Okay. Alright, we're on the draw for this game, so do we want subtleties for the draw? It might actually be better than Svyelun. Because, like, if they're going for the ley line into Scion route, then, like, subtlety theoretically could slow them down enough for us to actually win this game. I feel like this is the way to go. It does set them back a fair bit. Alright, let's do this. It's not the worst hand, but, like, it definitely needs some help. If we can find even a single Lord, like, this probably will be okay. They're choosing to keep 7 cards. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to keep this, but I don't know, like, Cenote's gonna have to really help us. Right, no Leyline is a good sign. There might be a Ragavan, though. If they play Ragavan, I might just lead on Bolt. I'll have to do it on their turn because they do have Force of Negation, so I don't think that they would have kept it in against me. But you never know. It's possible. And if I want to play 2 1-drops here, fuck, yeah, if I want to play 2 1-drops next turn, I may actually have to play the Breeding Pool here, and it's not going to be pleasant. Breeding Pool into Scalding Tarn. The alternative is, like, I could play Scout. I could, like, lock myself into playing the Tide Shaper, I guess. Alright, I'll go to their attack step, I guess, so that they can't, like, dash in another Ragavan. Alright. I am going to be taking at least 1 shock, this is true. The question is, like, I could just play Tide Shaper and then try to go for, like, Scout and Shaper, and then maybe next turn Cenote, or Speaker plus Master. Yeah. Because I can get away with having a second island instead of having to get 2 breeding pools here. Hoping that killing Ragavan really fucked up what their plan was. It seems like it may have, so that's a plus. Okay, yeah, well, we have to do Cenote here. This hand is improving a fair bit. And we got Cavern of Souls. Alright, I mean, they kind of have to find an island for us, so it'll be alright. It's very difficult for them not to. Because they really need to, they need to get their domain on, so. Then I can play, like, Master and Speaker and then follow it up with, like, Lord and potentially something else if we can find another 2-drop or just, like, any other spell, maybe, so. Alright. The race is on. So we are committed to the board, and they are not. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course they're fetching Triome. That's what I'm saying. Like, they have basically no choice but to give us Island Walk, so I'm not worried at all about tide shaping them, because Expressive for them is not a very good turn 3, to be honest. Like, the best they can do is, like, get a Lightning Bolt or a Leyline going on. But that means that we still have a ton of pressure, so... That's assuming that they have a third land. Like, they may have been relying on that Ragavan. So they found Flooded Strand. Alright. This looks... I mean, Leyline definitely is a possibility here. Yeah, spending mana without affecting the board is tight. Pick Your Poison would actually probably be really good this turn. That's also not bad. Think I'm supposed to play Lord plus Cenote. Yeah, alright, well, let's play the Lord. It's gonna... Yeah, it's gonna get eaten, but whatever. We have to play it and make them do it. I mean, they're gonna have to at least fetch and take more damage if they want to do it, so... But this is good. Cenote can set up our next turn a lot better. Do they actually have, like, I guess, do they have other Merfolk in their deck that, like, we'd have to be worried about? I guess they have Lightning Bolt here, so sure. Okay. You want the Lord to get popped just in case? See, in some matches, I think that might be more relevant, but I'm not sure it matters as much here. Alright. Find me another Lord to put on top. Dismember? I think I actually want to leave Dismember here. Because it means basically no matter what creature they play this turn, I'm going to be able to just remove it and smack them for 1,000,000. In general, like, yeah, I do think that if you have to have a creature killed, having the Lord killed makes more sense most of the time, because you never know when your opponent's randomly going to have, like, Emery or Oracle or fucking, you know, something like that. Or, like, Tidebinder, for instance. Like, you never know when they're going to have that. So, yeah, having your own Lord is fine. I have no fucking idea why Preordain is in this deck. Like, this is really, really strange. But, Dismember on top basically just seals this for us. Because now, like, okay, let's say they kill Master, then I'm just beating them their ass down with, like, a bajillion 2-drop, or 1-drops anyway, so... What are they gonna do here? Play Scion, get it dismembered, and take like play Scion and like Leyline, take 5. That doesn't seem very good, right? And then we have like 7 damage coming in next turn, no matter what. They have played a Ragavan and a Lightning Bolt, and nothing else they have done so far this game has mattered at all. The only way they can really stop us is with like their absolute nuttiest draw. And oh god, this can't be good for them, right? They didn't play a creature, so yeah, it's... I mean, they're not gonna get to, so... Okay, well, I mean, they probably have a thing anyway, but I have to make them do it, so... I don't have a choice. Like, I have to make them use their removal. If they don't have it, they're just gonna die, so yeah, they have no choice. They just need to. Well, I mean, even if they use a removal on Master, they're still going to take 5, and that puts them to like lethal next turn. So I want to make the attack. And again, like, I don't think that there's any chance that they're playing something like Engineered Explosives. Like, I don't know, like, could they have like Brotherhood's End or something weird like that? I guess it's possible. It doesn't seem very likely though. I don't feel like this deck plays those kind of cards usually, or at least not in a quantity that I should care about. They're like, what are they going to do? They have to. They have to like block it. They have to deal with at least 2 of these things, and one creature is not going to be enough. Like if they just play like a Scion in order to block, Dismember deals with that, and they still have to deal with 2 creatures. So they need 2 actual removal spells, and creatures don't count. I mean, I guess they are playing preordained. It could be anything. So, all right, they just gave up. We win. There we go. So, once again, we go 4-1. The only deck that we lost against was the Asmo decks, or the yeah. So, I don't know that maybe we could have like tried a little bit of a different strategy against them, but it's still probably the hardest match that we face. So, yeah. Well, what I will say is that I do think that this list is very very good. I think that we have all the tools that we need to like fight here against pretty much all the decks. So it's just a matter of drawing them. So yeah, but the curve is really nice. The interaction suite is very nice, and it's very versatile, and I like that. We have tons and tons of ways to blow up Urza Saga. Pick your poison, spreading seas, and the tide shapers all just like nuke that shit from orbit. Yeah, I think I'm fine with just 3 dismembers in the list. I don't, because of pick your poison. Like there's not a lot of decks I would really want more than 3 dismembers against. The zoo deck, like pick your poison, is actually a little bit better because it kills the Scion, which is like one of their big guy, and the backup mode of it is it just kills a ley line and you get a creature back. So that's fine with me. Yeah, pick your poison kind of acts as extra removal, so that's good. It's also very very good removal if you go up against like Dragon's Rage Channeler decks because you can kill all their flying creatures. They have tons of them. Or you go up against Scales and it's really good there. So yeah, taking 4 like Dismember against that deck is also a card you usually only want to cast once, maybe twice. You really do not want to be casting like the second or third one most of the time. Tribal Flames and like Lightning Bolts can very easily punish you for that. So 3 is probably the correct number to be playing against that deck anyway. But yeah, changing the sideboard up a little bit meant that I have room for the 4th Subtlety, so it improves the Primeval Titan matchup a little bit. 3 counterspells and 2 Force of Negation I feel is like a pretty good combo here because they're both really good against Tron. So and like the Coffers deck, so we're kind of covered against big mana. Yeah, but having more free spells means they have more to play around, and because we have Svyelun in our deck, we can more easily play free spells since we have more card advantage in this list. It's not like the old list that we were playing. This can actually grind a little bit better because of Svyelun. So not only that, but we also are playing Mutavault, which is more resistant to a lot of removal. So in the face of like sweepers, like Mutavault can help us grind better. Yeah, and we're just playing more interactive cards in general. So Scolding is going to help us a lot against stuff like Solitude and Grief, and yeah, Dismember is just going to clear the way for all of our creatures to get in. So I do think once again Cenote Scout is just proving how really good in this deck it is. So, and I do think that playing 2 speakers seems to be working out well, and I think I'm going to continue to do that. So there have been a bunch of times where it's like I just want more creatures so I can like play 2 things on turn 3, play like 1 drop plus a 2 drop. That's great. Or even going like turn 1 play a 2-power creature and then turn 2 play 2 2-power creatures, and then like turn 3 you just play a Lord and attack for 9. That's really really powerful. So I don't know what I can tell you that I replaced for it. I mean, I it depends. Like you could look at it, it's like, oh well, what did you cut to play Dismember? What did you cut to play Stern Scolding? The list is the list. Like this is the way that I play it. So you can rationalize it's like, oh well, I'm not playing Force or Subtleties in the main deck, I guess. if you want to look at it that way. Or like I trimmed one copy of like Trickster, Tidebinder, and Svyelun to make room for all this stuff. So maybe that, but I feel like having a little bit more interaction seems to be doing better for us than the Merfolk Mistbinder is. So, no, I mean, I understand your love for it, Tux, but like this seems to be functioning better. So, and I feel like yeah, we're at a spot here where we really kind of want to interact better. We need a little bit more grind now because there's going to be more of this domain zoo deck, and so it's a little bit more removal heavy than stuff like Cascade. So we need to be more prepared to like for the game to go a little bit longer sometimes. Yeah, and like there's gonna be more stuff like maybe Yawgmoth or maybe the food deck. So the grind is probably necessary, and being able to interact with the creatures more is more necessary. So anyway, that's what I think about it. So I'm still like really torn up about like whether I want more Tidebinder or more Svyelun or like how I make room for any of these cards, but I feel like the way it is right now is like got to be very very close to the way that it should be. I don't feel any strong need to make any changes to this list. Like last week I felt like, we could tweak the sideboard a little bit. I think this week I actually think that it's really good where it's at. So I don't see myself changing it, but yeah, but 4-1 into 4-1's pretty good with this list. So we we did see another Merfolk player out there. I have no idea why the fuck they're playing Rishadan Dockhand in a Botanical Sanctum list, but sure, I guess it whatever works for them. So all right, well, it is that time again. So let's see. Oh, I see. All right. We're gonna go visit our fellow modern players. Remember, if you are watching my replay, you got to click the thumbs up on YouTube. All right, that matters a lot to me. That's how I know that I'm doing a good job. I want to thank everybody who was here with me playing tonight. You guys make it really fun for me to do this, and so I really do appreciate it more than anything. You have no idea. This is you are the reason I keep doing this. Like I wouldn't play Magic for the sake of Magic at this point because it feels like every week Wizards is finding some new way to piss me off, but I do love like hanging out with everybody in the chat and playing this game. So we get to play our precious fishies together, and yeah, I feel like that it's a really good time. So thank you for being here, and I will see you again next week, everyone. And I'm gonna send you off to watch some modern Yawgmoth. So we're gonna go and see Meat here, everyone. I must bid you adieu. Get ready for this raid. Got about 5 seconds left. I'm definitely not just stalling till then, but all right. I'll see you next time, everybody. Peace.